It's the Let's Go Eat and Drink Show with Jimmy Santangelo and Bill Allred.
Let's go eat and talk about. But I can't tell what you're saying. 'Cause you got food in your mouth.
I'm your announcer, Zach Caton, and we're coming to you live on tape from the beautifully appointed Media Center at Visit Salt Lake. Wouldn't you like to record in a studio like this? Yes, you would, and maybe you can. Check it out at www.visitsaltlake.com. There's no doubt that soccer is finally gaining traction in the United States. More kids than ever are playing the game. Parents are shelling out big money to support their kids playing the game. And the quality of Major League Soccer in the U.S. improves every season. As a longtime soccer referee, Paul Scott has seen the game develop and moved up through the ranks as a soccer official. He now refs other refs on how to ref. So now, join Jimmy, Bill, and Paul as they talk soccer, balls, and booze.
Are you from here?
Been here 10 years.
Where'd you come from?
Oklahoma. Grew up in
Oh, I
Oklahoma
think I
and
saw
Texas.
that.
Yep.
Why did you come here?
So my wife is from Southwest Colorado.
Very good. I know like cheese gets kind of.
Oh yeah, thanks. And I had brought her here for games, and we both love to ski. And she got a new job, and she's like, "We can move to Atlanta, Fort Lauderdale, or Utah."
Oh wow.
And my response is, "Why are you wasting my time?"
Yeah.
We love it here. We live down in Draper, up on Point of the Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So we embrace the snow. It's the most beautiful state I've ever been to.
Really?
And I've been to all of them except Maine. My dad is a geologist, so we've spent a lot of vacation times collecting rocks.
I always wanted to go to Maine. I never have gone there.
Yeah, me too. I hear it's beautiful.
Well, my brother-in-law.
Portland, Maine is classic with the port, and you hear the like you're right there. The city and the village, old original cobblestone streets with the moss growing. First time I ever had a blue, ever hear those bluestone crab sandwiches? And I had one there. Never been as tender and delicious ever since. You always have. I've had them in other spots, but never the sweetness of it was just remarkable. Oh my gosh! I just give it to me.
So,
We have any idea how that other event is selling?
It's sold out.
What?
Literary Libations is sold out.
great.
When did that
Well,
happen?
I'll be.
What beverage should I? I'll talk to you about it later, but I gotta figure out.
That kind of surprises me.
Yeah, me too. You found that from Natalie?
That we don't promote that one on the radio.
really?
This is another thing we're doing that we don't promote. We don't promote this on the radio either because it's a side project that
Gotcha.
I'd have to buy ads for if I wanted to promote it, even though.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that how it works?
Yeah.
How'd you guys get into this gig?
I just started doing a podcast based around food a long time ago. Just
Okay.
I would sit with people over lunch and just talk, and politicians and artists, and didn't matter who, just anybody I thought would be interesting. And
Right.
then I stopped doing it for a while,
Okay.
and I wanted to start it up again. And I thought, it'd be great to do something with Jimmy, so we just added. It was just called the Let's Go Eat Show. Now it's called the Let's Go Eat and Drink Show.
And drink. Is there anything you need from us to rearrange or move or anything?
Just the papers in front of Bill, mostly. So the Sugar House bag looks
I
pretty.
need them.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm not. What do you
You're
want
so
me to do?
accommodating.
What do you want me to do? I need them.
It's okay.
But I need them, man.
I've got
God.
shots where the bag's already looking pretty, so we're fine.
Let's see. So mute.
So next Wednesday is our first Real game, right? Isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, coming up. Or no, is it a cup game? No, what's
There's a
Wednesday?
CONCACAF.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, where a group of us always watch them and everything. But then, what is it, March 1st or something like that is the first and the season starts. So we're all going to go. And yeah, but we'll talk more about that. Pretty relaxed. This is not G or PG rated. I mean, I'm not encouraging you to swear, but don't, if you want to emphasize a point, like, don't feel uncomfortable because our audience is, well, they eat, drink, and swear.
The soccer world's pretty blue in the language.
The Let's Go Eat and Drink and Swear show.
Yeah.
That's what we'll call it from now on. The Let's Go Eat and Drink and Swear show. You got that? Okay.
All right.
Up yours. All right, we're rolling anytime here, I think, right? Are you ready, he said, Jim?
Recording, my friend? Thumbs up? Let's see a thumbs up on the recording dial. All right.
That's the only finger I want to see from you. Here we go. We're going to be talking soccer. We're going to be talking, well, I guess soccer, but we're going to be talking about refereeing soccer with our guest, Paul Scott. But first, let me thank everybody who's been listening and watching the show. Thanks for doing that. And thanks for our good friends at Beehive Cheese. In a league of its own, Utah's Beehive Cheese uplifts modest cheddar to artisanal greatness with spirited flavors that spark conversation. Producing award-winning cheeses that bring friends and family together, Beehive Cheese earned first place at the 2024 International Cheese Dairy Awards for Best Cheese in the USA and took home silver at the World Cheese Awards 2023, as well as earning the Slow Food Snail of Approval late 2022. Beehive Cheese is also one of only 7 American cheesemaker to be B Corp certified. And if you know what that means, you know what that means. All right, now we'll get to our guest.
We also have our Sugar House
Yes.
Single American Malt sponsor today. Cheers to you. I understand you know your way around a nice Single
Yes.
American Malt. We'll talk more about that category, but thank you to Sugar House Distilling.
Thank you, James Fowler. Paul Scott, you are a referee for Major League Soccer.
I'm actually retired as a referee because every year the players got younger and the fitness tests got more difficult.
You have to run as much or more as the players on the field when you do it,
Oh
don't you?
yeah, you'll run 9 to 12 miles easily.
Yeah.
Backwards mostly, sideways.
So now you're in administration, is that right?
Correct.
So what do you do?
I wear a lot of hats. With Major League Soccer, I work with Pro, which is the organization that manages referees, and I train assistant referees. With U.S. Soccer, I work at evaluating and training the referees that are becoming nationalist referees or are nationals wanting to move on to Pro. And then I work for a 4th Division league called the NPSL that we don't have teams here, but we have about 100 teams across the country.
What does that stand for?
National Premier Soccer League.
Okay.
It is the top amateur league in USASA, U.S. Adult Soccer Association. I manage the referee program here in Utah. I oversee everything that goes on with my committee. And then I just retired from assigning college ball because my wife just retired, so I'm looking to free up more time to go play.
Now you're not directly affiliated with Real Salt Lake, or?
No, only through the Pro.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how did you get into this because you were a soccer player at one time?
Well, I got in it by accident. Back in early 70s, my family, we were in Texas and we moved to Oklahoma, and I had been playing American football because that's what you do in Texas.
Yeah. Sure.
And I was going into 6th grade, and we missed the sign-up period. And my dad was like, "Do you want to play soccer?" And my response was, "What is that?" The only soccer at the time on TV was Soccer Made in Germany on PBS Sunday mornings.
Oh my gosh.
All right, and then I started playing. My dad was coaching and then refereeing because every team had to provide a ref. And as a little kid, it was like, okay, this is good money. And then I realized I'm never going to make it as a player. I'm awful, but I can referee and still be involved in the game. And I had some good mentors. And after college, I moved to Texas where they were because I knew I needed to be in a hot spot and was at the right place at the right time, prepared, and got into the league.
So most of us would be more familiar with football, American football referees, watching them, what they do. How is it different, what you would do as a soccer referee?
Wow, there's a lot of management off the ball, working with the players, trying to modify their behavior. Also, the laws are not as black and white. FIFA, the IFAB calls them laws of the game as opposed to rules, where college has rules. I don't know why. But, so you can have a foul, but maybe you won't call it. And you watch basketball, and it's like, I have no idea what's a foul in basketball, but I know it's pretty black and white.
Well, the whistles are going off.
Well, it used to be that a foul was more black and white. Now they don't. Nobody plays defense anymore. So, and I don't think they dribble anymore in basketball, do they?
They travel.
I think they just travel.
Yeah.
And
Extra step.
remember when they used to call palming the ball? No. Yeah. You can carry it and run to the basket pretty much now. Anyway,
You have, as a referee, you have to be at the right place at the right time. I think all referees, the concentration level is incredibly high because you have to be dialed in. You can't miss a thing, and you're making thousands of decisions every minute.
now do you miss not being on the field and calling games?
Absolutely. My legs don't miss it, but my heart, I love it. It's fascinating trying to communicate to somebody to get them to behave the way you want them to behave, and to calm people down when all hell is breaking loose. You have to be the calmest guy out on the pitch. If you are angry, you're acting, and inside you're laughing at this fool that's doing whatever. So it's just it's psychologically it's an interesting profession.
You see it in American football. If you're watching the referees, a lot of times I find myself watching the refs and more than I'm watching the players, just to see what they're doing. And you'll see them talking to players, just kind of little, and they're saying, "Now look, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be in big trouble."
Yep.
They say things like, and it's the same thing you're talking about. You're trying to manage the game, kind of in a way that the crowd doesn't see.
You're right.
Yeah,
I
think that's
imagine different cultures that come to the game to play soccer, football. They must have a different perspective of the game, or their enthusiasm, anger, their passion, let's say, might vary, right? I mean, you have
Absolutely.
to manage all those.
Yeah, so a couple things come to mind. Like you go to Portland and you're walking the field before the game, and the ultras are there behind the goal, and they're cussing at you and yelling at you and giving you the finger and waving at them.
As the ref.
Yeah.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah. And we're just inspecting the grounds.
Yeah. I haven't even done anything yet.
Yeah.
See, they're trying to manage the game from there.
Yeah. And so I was an assistant referee in the league, and I would, if I had the opportunity, was always chat the people up that I was going to be next to, because I didn't want them yelling horrible things at me during the game. And honestly, there was this one guy in Kansas City. He would always have a selfie taken with me, and we would chat briefly. And then at the end of my career, he had a baby, and he insisted we take a photo with the baby. It's interesting, these relationships with the fans that you develop, the positive ones, and then the not so positive. Like I will share, and this is probably going to be awful to say, but probably the worst fans that I've ever experienced are RSL fans.
No.
Really?
Here in town?
Are so myopic. They're players. Beckham, I like Beckham off the field. We get along really well. But he could grab a player by the throat and get a yellow card, and it's our fault.
Yeah.
Well, that's because it's Beckham.
Right.
That's right.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
And then, oh gosh, they would throw stuff at us. I remember one game, somebody threw a corn dog with mustard all over it, and it hit my jersey. Fortunately, I had a yellow jersey on, but I was just like, come on.
Soccer is it's catching on more and more, I would say.
Oh, absolutely.
In the United States, it's becoming bigger. Kids are playing soccer. It's after school and at school even, and it's becoming a more viable sport. Is the future
holding the World Cup here, aren't we?
Coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is the future nothing but bright for soccer, do you think?
Absolutely. They do a really good job creating a fan experience with the ultras. Like Kansas City, Sporting KC, they created a whole side business, and they consult with NBA teams and NFL teams on how you engage the fans and just make it a great experience. And And if
Come to think of it, there are a ton of activities walking even here at RSL. Like you can kick something, you can bounce on something. Like there's for the kids as well, you know.
You can do that at my house. Kick something, bounce on something.
And then with the altars, they got the flags and they got the songs going and the drums and the smoke, and it's a blast.
What do you think how do you compare the level of the game of soccer here and football in Europe?
So when the league started, it was awful. The players then would never make it today.
How long ago was this?
It's 30 years now.
Was
we're
it
kicking
that
off.
long? 30 years ago?
30 years. Lexi Lawless. I remember, I think he was probably the first influencer in soccer, if we go back to it, because he had the guitar and the red hair. And I remember a game where he was streaking down to defend, and he just crushes the guy. All he could do is head the ball and kick the ball and take people out. It's like, that should have been a red card. I don't think he would make it today. And a lot of these guys wouldn't make it. The skill level in the U.S. is so much higher. We are still fighting to compete at the top levels. Like I remember when Beckham came into the league, he was playing with Landon Donovan, who'd just come back from Europe. And Beckham would play a ball, and Landon was the only person that had anticipated where that ball was going to be. Everybody else is chasing the ball, whereas he's already in position to receive the ball. It was phenomenal. And now
You can
across
read the
league, across the league now, the game is so much better, and you can see how well we compete against Liga MX, the Mexican leagues. And so we're doing lots better. I expect, hopefully we'll do really well in the World Cup, but I expect in another decade we'll be.
When is the World Cup?
We're in 25. It's in, what is it, 26?
I think it's
So next year it will be here?
Yeah.
in the United States. I think they're doing it in Texas, California. Like it's going to be in a couple. Colorado's going to host.
Yeah.
They host it in varying stadiums. I don't think tickets have gone on sale.
No, they
yet.
haven't.
Yeah.
So also Canada and Mexico are hosting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
How many officials are there in a game?
there are 4.
Just 4.
Well, out on the field, and then within MLS, then we have like 6 up in VAR, video review booth.
Oh, nice.
So there is video review of some plays.
Correct.
How often does that happen?
It probably, I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but I mean, a review that's sent down might be 3 or 4 times a game, but every goal is reviewed, every red card, every penalty. And then, if they're fine with it, they'll say check complete and they move on. If there's a question, they will send it down to the referee to review. And the way the laws are written, the referee has the final authority. So they'll go to the video booth and look at the video and decide.
Can the coaches call for a review?
No.
Like they can in football?
But interestingly, the IFAB, the International Football Association, is looking at changing how reviews are done to speed the game up. And so they're talking about giving the coaches, a half to throw a flag on, or do whatever, and as a way to speed up the game.
There's. I wonder about the human factor being removed from officials. That I understand in baseball now, they're going to try it in the spring season. They have a review of the balls and strikes. If you want to contest, they say that was definitely not in the strike zone, and the umpire called a strike. They'll review it. There's a means of reviewing it, and it's kind of I think it takes away.
A little bit.
It takes away something. I'd almost rather not have any video review of anything ever.
Yeah.
You just rely on the integrity and the eye of the official on the field.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. There's just so much money involved. And, they're like, what was it, England, Germany in the World Cup? And, they awarded the goal. And it hadn't crossed the goal line. And there was no way for the assistant referee to be in position. The ball's just so fast. So there are certain things that I think, okay, that should be reviewed. But the minutia, like balls and strikes, I was like, that's part of the art of officiating. Let's let that go.
Yeah. How about the safety factor of the sport? I know that there are parents now today who are saying, I don't want my kid playing football, American football.
Right.
It's too dangerous, it's too rough, it's too hard. And they try to make it safer with the helmets and and all of that, but people are getting hurt. How about soccer?
So that's interesting. You mentioned that. A few years ago, U.S. Soccer actually got sued, and now for the little kids, heading is not allowed.
No heading.
As a way to protect their brains.
Okay, you can't head the ball anymore.
Right.
Okay.
Once you get to like under 10s, under 11s, then you can start heading the ball. They restrict how much you can head it in practice.
Okay.
But they're trying to, prevent brain damage, which is a legitimate concern.
Sure.
Because you head the ball incorrectly, you can get a concussion.
Yeah, the few times I played, I think I did head a ball one time playing soccer. Was not pleasant.
No.
It was not pleasant. I thought, why did anybody do this? Because it hurts, and you sort of see stars.
Yeah.
And you keep playing.
Right.
The conditioning of these athletes is incredible, though. It must be. I don't know how.
Yeah.
They keep the field is big. It's bigger than a football field, and they are constantly running. Although I suspect there are times when you can kind of dog it and take a rest.
Right. You manage yourself. So one of the criticisms between college ball, which has lots of substitutions, and professional ball that has limited subs, is players coming out of college don't know how to manage their body for 90 minutes. When do you go hard? When do you take it easy? And not gas yourself.
Yeah.
Well, you see the players on the side not playing, in the jerseys. They may be just up and comers, I don't know, but they're always doing drills on the side constantly.
Yep.
That must complement that potential training, that transitional. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I'll mention in the professional ranks with pro, they have fitness trainers now and dietitians and sports psychologists working with the referees because they're considered professional athletes. They're spending a lot of money to get them fit. And when I was refereeing, we had to turn in what we ate. Our training schedule would be emailed to us. We had a smartwatch that tracked everything. And if you had and if you had overtrained or if you'd just done a game, and it would tell you that you needed to have a rest day. It was a lot of sports science going on.
You're starting to see women now on the sidelines refereeing, refereeing, I guess you would say, officiating in American football. You're seeing women out there now, which is great. How about soccer?
Absolutely. So, U.S. Soccer, we don't see gender, we see referees. If you're good enough, if you can meet the criteria, awesome. Let's have you.
So I can swear at them then. So.
Yes. So actually,
if you can take a corn dog to the jersey.
The top referee in CONCACAF, one of the top referees in the world, is Tori Penso. She did the World Cup finals. She's been refereeing men's games. She's a wonderful, delightful person. She actually refereed in the NPSL years and years ago, and of course I got complaints because everybody complains about a ref. But she's amazing. If anybody remembers the Women's World Cup final, she and her team are just top notch.
So I gotta return to a question about the culture of the game from different countries. Growing up as a kid watching it on PBS, that was our Channel 29 in upstate New York, we would watch that. And seeing the English versus Irish game was much different than seeing an African team playing, or somebody from the Mediterranean, the Spanish, the passion behind it and everything. Yeah. One, is that still evident today, but also because of globalization, is it kind of becoming more homogenized? Is there...
Well, whatever team wins the World Cup, everybody starts copying their style of play, right? Because it's successful. But there's still differences the way the South Americans play versus the British or the Portugal.
Can you describe what that might be?
Yeah, so there are some nations, like let's say for Spain, for example, that's very technical. and they don't challenge as hard, and the referees don't allow them to play as hard as they do in the Premier League, where they can just get crackered. And here, we have such a melting pot of styles that players have to learn to adapt and figure out how this fits, because we have, you know, British training us with refereeing, so we have also that kind of mindset of like, we're going to let you play up to a level that, you know, doesn't endanger your safety, but, you know, you're going to get
A bit more physical.
Yeah,
a bit more physical.
What about the criticism that soccer players flop a lot? That
they do.
That they, you know, that you barely touch them, and it's like, oh, you know.
Right, and so this goes.
That happens in basketball a lot too.
Right. So this goes to your point about video review. You know, they're putting pressure on the referee to make a decision, a penalty, and so now with video review, the referee can make whatever decision and then go back and review it. We are trained, if there's contact, more likely than not, we're not going to give a yellow card, because if we're wrong, the consequence is huge giving a yellow card, because there's yellow card accumulations. It changes how that player can play the rest of the 90 minutes. That said, if they're taking a flop in the penalty area, that's very different than flopping outside the penalty area. In the penalty area, they're trying to bait the referee into giving a penalty kick, which has a huge consequence. So we tend to be more stern dealing with that than outside.
Oh, I see. And then I guess the other thing I would like to know is, do you think we really will arrive as a soccer culture? We can't arrive as a soccer culture until we start having soccer hooligans. I mean, we have to have.
Gosh.
We have to have soccer hooligans who come to town and trash the town.
I hope not. We are the ultras that the teams have are terrific. RSL's ultras are great. I hope they don't cross that line. That would be really
Have you been
sad.
to an RSL game?
Yeah.
So So I just love the drums, like you're saying, the flags, from beginning to the end. And it's funny. We used to have season ticket, or a buddy of mine had tickets. It was the tailgating lot where we could actually tailgate, and it was right next to the entryway from a path from a neighborhood. And there's big signs: quiet zone, quiet zone, quiet zone. Then as soon as they got onto the property of the game,
Well, the one thing I hope we do is, have we outlawed is it vuvuzelas? Yeah, we can't have those, right?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, good. They really have outlawed those?
The stadium's
Vuvuzela, is it vuvuzela?
Yes.
Vuvuzela free. You know what the vuvuzela is?
I remember it. The South African game or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, that was real popular.
Oh, God.
ruins the broadcast.
All right. So we've talked soccer. We talked your favorite. We have your favorite kind of whiskey here, American.
Delicious.
And what's the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh,
This is great, I think.
okay. It's the worst thing I've ever eaten. While I was in college, I took a year off and I lived in Thailand. And the women there would take these long poles and knock down ant grubs.
Ooh.
And my friend's wife that I met there in Thailand, she made this dish of scrambled eggs and the ant grubs, except it's served cold. I hate cold scrambled eggs. And so now you have this soft, gelatinous mush. And I did my duty. I had 1 tablespoon, and that was the worst.
Yeah.
Cold.
A little protein.
A lot of protein.
Yeah, a lot
no,
of
thank you.
I'll get to a bit of a splash of news here, but I will take exception to one thing you had on this food questionnaire, that you would eliminate English green peas from the world if you could.
Mushy peas.
Mushy peas I don't care for.
Oh, you don't?
No,
Okay.
No, I mean, I was always told, anytime I was in England, I said, I need to try mushy peas, and people said, no, you don't really need to. And then I'd say, no, I really want to try them. So finally we were at a chip shop somewhere, and they had mushy peas. I said, oh, yeah, I don't need them.
No.
But just garden fresh peas with butter, that kind.
So,
My
yeah,
favorite.
I had a traumatic experiences. I was like probably a year and a half old, and I'm embarrassed to tell this story. I was wolfing, my mom thought I was wolfing down the peas, and she kept feeding me more and more and more. And then I sneezed, and all these peas come out of my nose. And ever since then, I was like, peas are not my favorite.
Not your friend.
Chocolate mint, similar for me.
All right, little splash of news you have?
Yes, one on brand for today's episode. Victory for American single malts. That's the beverage we're having here today. The Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau has ratified American single malt as an official whiskey category. What does this mean for producers, retailers, and consumers? Well, it occurred on December 13th, 2024, just after 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, that American Single Malt Whiskey Commission President Stephen Hawley received a phone call he'll never forget. The Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade, the TTB, had finally ruled in favor of recognizing American single malt as an official category of American whiskey. To be labeled an American single malt, a whiskey must adhere to the following criteria. Made from a fermented mash of 100% malted barley produced in the United States, distilled at a single distillery here in the U.S., distilled to a maximum of 160 proof, that's 80 ABV, that's typical of all American whiskey, aged in, this is the new thing, aged in used, charred new, or uncharred new American oak barrels up to a 700-liter maximum capacity, stored only here in the States. No addition of neutral spirits, and no additives except for caramel coloring, which is new and not typical, which must be disclosed on the label. That is in consistency with Scotch and Irish whiskey. You're allowed to add caramel coloring. The United States is truly a whiskey outlier compared to the rest of the world. American single malt isn't bourbon or Scotch, and never was meant to be. It's sometimes completely different and worthy of attention from everyone. And that's your splash of news.
I guess bourbon is finally catching on in Europe as I mean, it's been Scotch but bourbon
Japanese
has
whiskey, Indian whiskey, but bourbon. It's a little too sweet for many palates, but now we're kind of pumping the brakes on that a little bit, also producing some aged, but here we have an American single malt from a local distillery, Sugar House Distilling.
Major League Soccer referee and now a manager of referees and trainer. You still train referees. If people listening to this, watching this, are interested in being a referee, how would they go about it?
Well, if you're in Utah, you can go to the website utahsoccerrefs.com, and on there there's information on how to become a referee. You spend online course, and then you spend a couple hours out on a field learning just the basic mechanics. And we're very fortunate. We have great support from the Utah Youth Soccer Association. If you're a brand new referee, they will cover your registration fee, and they will provide you a uniform.
Cool.
And that's,
And then you have to be able to get up at 6 in the morning and go and stand in the rain with a bunch of kids and learn how to call a game. And deal with their awful parents.
That said, the Utah Youth has said if a referee files a complaint on a parent or a group of parents,
I heard this,
they will clear the sideline. And now the parents are policing themselves. It's been really, really.
I think they just recently did that with football, high school football referees and junior high school football referees. They're kind of cracking down on parents being shits to the refs. So, Paul Scott, nice to meet you. Thanks for
having me.
Indulging us. Have a little more whiskey if you like. I think that's about it. Thanks for listening and watching. If you have any comments, questions, or you just like to lash out at us, you can. You can do it by going to theletsgoeatshow@gmail.com. For Jimmy Santangelo, for Paul Scott, and for our fine producer, Dawson. Hi, Dawson.
Hi.
Hey. That's it. I'm Bill Allred. Remember, when you're pouring the drinks, always make mine a double.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Let's Go Eat and Drink Show with Jimmy Santangelo and Bill Allred. You can contact Jimmy at www.thewineacademyofutah.com. As for Bill Allred, you can't. I've tried. If you won't respond to my emails, what makes you think he'll listen to you? Comments, questions, or angry complaints to the management should be directed to the Let's Go Eat Show at gmail.com. The Let's Go Eat and Drink Show is produced by Dawson Dow. Our theme music was composed and recorded by Doug Wild. Recording facilities as needed are by the Visit Salt Lake Media Center at www.visitsaltlake.com. The show is a Double Plus production. I have been and will continue to be your announcer, Zach Caton, off to look up how to get grass stains out of a soccer uniform. Banana oil?